This audio program by Radio AI is generated using artificial intelligence technologies. The voices you hear in this program are synthetic, and the thoughts they express are shaped through artificial intelligence-driven reasoning and iterative refinement.
Welcome to Radio AI. Today, we're diving deep into one of humanity's oldest and most debated questions. Can money truly buy happiness?
Yeah, it feels like it should, right?
Totally. More money means more goods, more security, more opportunities. But as we're about to unpack, this relationship is, well, far from simple.
It really is. What's truly fascinating is how quickly that simple idea kind of dissolves when you look closer.
How so?
Well, the research paints a much more nuanced picture. It's all tangled up with individual experiences, social norms, cultural stuff. It shows it's not a direct A to B correlation at all.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. Where does money's impact on happiness feel most profound, most undeniable?
It's really in context of scarcity where money's power shines brightest.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Okay.
A moderate increase in income there brings really tangible, life-altering relief. We're talking better nutrition, reliable shelter.
Right, basics.
Exactly, that crucial buffer against emergencies.
Yeah.
This really lines up with Maslow's hierarchy, meeting those basic survival and safety needs.
Makes sense.
But once those foundational needs are secured, you pretty quickly hit the principle of diminishing marginal utility.
Ah, right. Where each extra bit adds less.
Precisely. Each additional dollar simply yields less and less additional satisfaction.
So there's actually an income satiation point, is that the term? A sort of threshold where more money doesn't make us much happier. I've heard about this, and yeah, here's where it gets really interesting.
Exactly. Now, the precise number, that can vary a lot. Depends on where you live, your circumstances.
Sure.
But studies have often pointed to figures, maybe around $75,000 annually in some older U.S. research, though, again, it's not some magic number.
Right.
Beyond a point like that, more income often just registers as, a numerical change. It doesn't necessarily translate to a big boost in day-to-day well-being.
Which then raises a really important question, doesn't it? What kind of happiness are we even talking about?
That's a great distinction to make. The sources talk about two types, hedonic versus eudaimonic happiness.
Okay, break those down for us. How does money play into them differently?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So think of hedonic happiness as basically pleasure over pain. It's that immediate joy you get from, say, buying a new gadget or going on a nice vacation. It's about feeling good right now.
Gotcha. The fun stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Eudaimonic happiness, though, that's deeper. It's more centered on meaning, purpose, self-realization. It's about doing good, living a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
Okay, so less fleeting.
Generally, yes. And money's influence really diverges here.
Yeah.
Spending on those leisure goods might give you a quick hedonic boost, sure. But investing in things like creative projects or learning new skills, maybe engaging with your community, that often fosters that deeper, more lasting eudaimonic well-being. It really shows how our personal values shape wealth's effects just as much as sheer purchasing power.
So it really sounds like how we use the money is maybe just as important or even more important than how much we actually have.
I think that's a key takeaway.
And this connects to the hedonic treadmill idea, doesn't it? That feeling that we just kind of adapt to whatever our circumstances are.
Precisely. That's hedonic adaptation.
Yeah.
People get used to new things incredibly quickly. So any happiness gains from, say, a raise or buying something big or even a windfall, they can be surprisingly short-lived.
Yeah, that new car smell doesn't last forever.
Exactly. Or the excitement of the new phone, it fades. But interestingly, certain types of spending seem to resist this adaptation a bit better.
Like what?
Like spending on experiences, travel, concerts, learning, rather than just material things, or pro-social spending, using money to benefit others. Those tend to provide more lasting boosts in well-being.
That's actually kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? You'd think the solid thing would last longer.
You would, but experiences create memories and social connections in a different way.
Okay, so what does this mean for our choices then? I'm thinking about the paradox of choice that gets mentioned. If money gives you unlimited options, is that always good?
Surprisingly, not always. Yeah, an abundance of options can actually crank up regret and decision fatigue, even for people with substantial means.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you can buy anything, the pressure to choose the perfect thing can be immense. Or there's the fear of missing out on something better. It could be overwhelming.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
And money can also do something called crowding out intrinsic motivation.
What's that?
It means if you start getting paid for something you genuinely love doing for its own sake, like a hobby, sometimes the financial incentive can actually diminish your inherent enjoyment of it. The motivation shifts from internal to external.
Wow, okay. So let's pull back a bit. Connect this to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How do things like our social environment, maybe even our evolutionary drives, play into this whole money happiness puzzle?
Well, humans seem to have this deeply rooted drive for resource accumulation and also for relative status. We're kind of wired for social comparison, aren't we?
Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. And that can fuel this perpetual sense of dissatisfaction, even when we have objectively quite a lot. We're constantly measuring ourselves against others. This leads to what's called the relative income effect.
Meaning how we rank compared to others matters more than our absolute income?
Right. And it also ties into the Easterlin paradox. This observes that while, yes, wealthier individuals within a given society tend to report being happier, increases in the average societal income over time don't necessarily translate into greater overall societal happiness. The goalposts keep moving, essentially.
That's fascinating. So bringing it all together, what does this mean for us, for you listening? How can we navigate all this complexity in our own lives?
I think it suggests maybe focusing resources less on just piling up stuff and more on experiences and relationships, cultivating gratitude for what we do have, supporting community and just being mindful of those comparison traps.
Right. Staying aware.
Yeah, because that subjective sense of enough, it's slippery. It's constantly being recalibrated against shifting social standards.
Yeah.
So finding your own definition is really key.
So the relationship between money and happiness, it clearly defies the simple yes or no answer. Money can absolutely relieve suffering. It can expand our choices. That's undeniable.
Oh, sure.
But its power seems bounded by this adaptation, by our social context, these psychological processes, and ultimately our own values. It's really not just about what you have, is it? It's about what it means to you and how you decide to use it.
And this raises a really interesting final thought, I think. As our economies become more digital and new kinds of social and economic capital emerge, beyond just money, how might our understanding of wealth and happiness keep evolving? What will matter most in the future?
That's a great question to ponder. Thank you for joining us here on Radio AI for this deep dive. We really hope this exploration sparked some new reflections for you. Feel free to share your own thoughts down in the comments section. We hope to have you with us again on Radio AI. Until next time.